So my background is in, I studied computer science, but since I was a kid, we spent summers at the ranch, first hunting, then playing the cowboy, and I really want to be a cowboy, but my dad, when I asked my dad, should I study animal science or something like that, he said, no, study something else. So I ended up computer science. So when I was working in the US, my dad just stopped by and said, why don't you join the ranch? And I was waiting for that moment. I feel that I had like a hobby, computer science, and then I joined the ranch. So I really knew, like, because remember that I'm ranching in the desert, the suffering of the ranchers, like one good year, 3 bad years, and so on. So I said, well, I think we'd like to do things different here. And I was very lucky when I went back to the ranch to take the reins, that I landed on Chihuahua, Mexico, northern Mexico, where there were really great holistic management practitioners. So I took a class after 2 years of arriving there, and then I said, wow, that's exactly what I need. And the guy that was giving the class actually became my mentor, but also my friend. One of the things that we learn is that we need to mimic nature. If you ask me, okay, give me a like elevator pitch, well, all I'm trying to do is just mimic nature. So in the context where we are, you know, there were like big ruminants like a bison and elk and in big numbers. And they were bunched as a herd and they migrating through summer, winters. That's what we're trying to do at the ranch. I mean, but now we're using electric fence. We bunch the cattle, we move the cattle every day. They fertilize the soil. You need to keep in mind that the livestock, let's talk about livestock and not only cattle, but they have multiple tools on the toolbox to help us. You have the manure, you have the urine, you have the saliva, you have the hoof impact. Even the breathing of the livestock actually promotes more growth. So by bunching the cattle together and moving them, like in my case, like twice a day, we mimic nature on those migrations, like we make enough animal impact, and then we don't return to the same pasture until a year. So we let the grass just grow, any kind of plants just grow and recover. The beautiful thing about this is that you are actually making a saving on biological capital. So biological capital is just like, okay, you're putting more carbon, you're getting more diversity, you're getting a more resilient system. That's how we're really getting young people attracted again to farmland and rangeland, these kind of practices. Because think about it, it makes sense for your health, for wildlife, for the profitability, right, and for the enjoyment. So, can ask for more. But the big difference here is that we have something working, tangible, because you know there's a lot of, you go to the UN conventions and things like that, and there's a lot of talk, but there's really not much on the ground, or what is on the ground is really very small scale. And now we have something that can be scaled up, that really fix a lot of problems, like, you know, water scarcity, dust storms, and now we're getting a lot of dust storms, these very high temperatures, the loss of habitat for wildlife. I mean, we're restoring that habitat. So there's a lot of things that make sense, and it's exciting for us to have the opportunity to share this with everybody.